Good morning, Matt. And indeed, today, the State Department officials denying a split between the president and his top diplomat over North Korea, after the president's tweets this weekend undercut the Secretary of State's outreach to North Korea just a day earlier. And according to exclusive reporting by NBC News today, this latest incident caps months of friction between the president and Tillerson that almost led to the nation's top diplomat resigning in July. This morning, more signs the troubled relationship between President Trump and his Secretary of State is reaching a boiling point. A growing chorus of headlines calling on Rex Tillerson to quit after the president attacked his new outreach to North Korea, tweeting Sunday, "Save your energy, Rex. We'll do what has to be done." And, "I told Rex Tillerson, our wonderful Secretary of State, that he is wasting his time trying to negotiate with Little Rocket Man." That diplomatic bombshell from the president coming just 7 hours after Tillerson's arrival home from Beijing, where he had revealed that the U.S. has a back channel to North Korea, telling reporters in China, "We can talk to them. We do talk to them directly through our own channels." Tillerson's emphasis on diplomacy pleasing his hosts in China, but not the boss back home. In fact, multiple White House officials tell NBC News Tillerson was already on the outs with the president for refusing to tear up the Iran nuclear deal and pointedly disagreeing with Mr. Trump's controversial comments about the deadly racial unrest in Charlottesville.
I think there's blame on both sides.
The president speaks for himself.
For his part, Tillerson was frustrated when the president sided with Saudi Arabia against a key U.S. military ally, Qatar. Officials tell NBC News the final blow for the Secretary of State, a former leader of the Boy Scouts, almost came back in July, when the president gave a widely criticized political speech to the Scouts.
We'd go to Wisconsin, and we had tremendous crowds.
Current and former officials tell NBC News' Carol Lee Tillerson tried to quit, but was talked out of it by allies, including Defense Secretary James Mattis, incoming Chief of Staff John Kelly, and even Vice President Mike Pence, who had to give Tillerson what's described as a pep talk, telling him to get on board with the president. Defense Secretary Mattis is trying to play down the rift between Tillerson and the president over North Korea. And a top Tillerson aide denies the secretary tried to quit or was offended by the president's speech to the Boy Scouts. As for how long he will stay in the cabinet, a top aide to Tillerson says for as long as the president wants him to serve. But UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is widely viewed as auditioning to replace him. Matt?
All right, Andrea, I want to mention we're also joined by NBC's national political reporter, Carol Lee. Welcome. Let me start with you, though. This isn't just a squabble between a boss and an employee. This is the President of the United States and the Secretary of State. Given all that's going on in the world right now, can Rex Tillerson carry on diplomacy while he's being undercut in this manner?
I mean, that's the big question. The stakes are enormous. Just look at North Korea and the fact that Kim Jong-un and leaders, President Xi in China, are all confused. Who's in charge? They now know it's the president, and that Tillerson does not speak for him, and that is really dangerous around the world.
To give an idea, Carol, of where this has all gone, you have some reporting that suggests that Rex Tillerson, following a national security meeting, used a derogatory term to describe the president. Take me further.
Okay, well, I'll set the scene for you. It was at a meeting at the Pentagon with the president's national security team. There were cabinet officials, White House officials. The president attended. He left. The group was gathering. There were a number of people around, and the secretary called the president a moron. And it
was in
was
front of all those people.
And he said it loudly enough for the number of people to hear him say that, yes.
Is the president of the United States aware that that happened, or was he aware prior to right now?
It's a good question. It's unclear if he was aware, but sources tell us that no family members were around, and so it's unlikely that anybody told him.
And Andrea, real quickly, why is Tillerson still there? Given all this, why hasn't he just handed in his resignation?
He's a proud man. He wants to accomplish something. In his view, it's the downsizing of the State Department, eliminating waste that he sees. He wants to wait for his management review, but I think the frustrations are mounting. And if he feels that he cannot accomplish anything, especially since he's lost the confidence of the department with his budget cuts and lost the confidence of Capitol Hill, he could leave at any time.
Andrea Mitchell, Carol Lee, thank you both.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.